Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome council staff and delegates to the regular planning meeting for Tuesday, February the 17th, 2026, and we're being live streamed. And I'll call the meeting to order with the land acknowledgement. We are meeting today on the traditional territory of many nations, including the Huron-Wendat, Anishinaabe, and the Haudenosaunee peoples. We acknowledge our shared obligation to respect, honor, and sustain these lands and the natural resources contained within. We honor their cultures and celebrate their commitment to this land. We would also like to acknowledge the Mohawk and Algonquin nations whose traditional and unceded territory we are gathered upon today. Hastings County is situated on treaty land that is steeped in rich Indigenous history and home to many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people. So the first order is to approve the agenda. And the recommendation is that the agenda of the planning meeting of the Council of the Municipality of Marmorn Lake for Tuesday, February 17th, 2026 be approved as presented. And I have a mover and a seconder. Ron and Mike, any discussion on that agenda? All in favor? That's carried. Is there any declaration of pecuniary interest? Being none. Next, we need a motion that the foregoing minutes of the planning meeting of the Council of the Municipality of Marmorn Lake held Tuesday, January 20th, 2026 be approved as presented. Can I have a mover and a seconder? Eric? Second. Dane? Any comments on those minutes or questions? Being none, all in favor? That's carried. Next on the agenda is public meetings. This is the time set aside to permit anyone in attendance to speak in favor or in opposition to the zoning amendments. Public input will be received by council. If a person or public body would otherwise have an ability to appeal the decision of the municipal council for the municipality of Marmorn Lake to the Ontario Land Tribunal, but the person or public body does not make oral submissions at a public meeting or make written submissions to the municipality of Marmorn Lake before the bylaws pass, the person or public body is not entitled to appeal the decision. If a person or public body does not make oral submissions at a public meeting or make a written submission to the municipal council for the municipality of Marmorn Lake before the bylaws pass, the person or public body may not be added as a party to the hearing of an appeal before the Ontario Land Tribunal unless, in the opinion of the tribunal, there are reasonable grounds to do so. So the proposed zoning bylaw amendment is for 283 Clemenger Road, Marmorn Lake. The subject lands are presently zoned marginal agricultural. The purpose of the application is to rezone a portion of the property from marginal agricultural zone to marginal agricultural exception number 10 zone to prevent the construction of a dwelling, outbuildings, or septic system within 120 meters of the Cordova Mines wetland, a provincially significant wetland. Is there anyone in the audience that wishes to speak to this amendment? Okay, being none, we'll move on then. The zoning amendment bylaw number 2026-9P 283 Clemenger Road. The legal description is concession 1, part lots 22 and 23. The recommendation is that the planning staff report dated February the 17th, 2026 regarding the zoning bylaw amendment, file number D 14-01-2026 for the property legally described as concession 1, part lots 22 and 23, County of Hastings, and municipally known as 283 Clemenger Road be received, and that the proposed zoning bylaw amendment 2026-09P for the lands legally described as concession 1, part lots 22 and 23, County of Hastings, and municipally known as 283 Clemenger Road be recommended for council adoption. Can I have a mover and a seconder for that recommendation? Mike and Eric, any comments or questions on that recommendation? Being none, all in favor? That's carried. Next is bylaws. Bylaw number 2026-9P, zoning amendment 283 Clemenger Road. And the recommendation is that bylaw 2026-09P, being a bylaw to amend comprehensive zoning bylaw number 2003-11 as amended, be read and passed the 17th day of February 2026. Can I have a mover and a seconder for that, please? Ron, second. Jane, any comments or questions? All in favor? That's carried. Next is the confirming bylaw number 2026-10P. And the recommendation is that bylaw 2026-10P, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the planning meeting of council held on the 17th day of February 2026, be read and passed the 17th day of February 2026. Can I have a mover and a seconder for the bylaw? Jane and Ron? All in favor? That's carried. Need a motion to adjourn, Ron? Second? Jane?